Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
This is Bree Fansteel, local race car driver. Join me and James Rowland every Sunday at 7 p.m. for The Finish Line, where we discuss off-road, on-road, and sometimes next-to-the-road racing on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's me, your cell phone. We need to talk about something serious. I know you love me. I know you like using me wherever you are, but I feel like this isn't working out when you're driving. I know you may think that it's possible to focus both on me and the road, but I just don't feel the same way. I think we should spend time away from each other when you're driving. It's for the best.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, a message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Once again, Ticket Weeknights with Harrison Arns. If you guys want to join in, this is one-on-one with DP, 402-464-5685. You can put a face to the voice as always. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo Channel 961. We got DP back from the road. And today we're just going to do a little deep dive on DP's schedule and everything that's been going on here at the station because it's a wild one at the very least. But DP, just in the inaugural year of the Omaha Supernova, since we are coming down to the end of the stretch here, just to you, what has stood out as some of the most exciting things so far throughout the season, just key memories that you've already had locked in?
It's funny too, because we didn't know what to expect. Like, we didn't know. I've been on flagship stations. I've been the flagship station, but it was the first time in Nebraska, in Lincoln, that we were the flagship station. And then there's some things that you had to jump through. When the opportunity came up, it was, well, why couldn't we do that? It was the thing that hadn't been done. It was the thing that people were saying, well, no, that's not a thing the ticket could do. And then there's a solution to everything. And there's only a problem if I allow it to be. There is a solution to all things. And the things that we had was to find out, one, would it be worth the work, right? Mm-hmm. As Jay Foreman likes to say, is it worth the squeeze, right? Does the juice match the squeeze? The amount of effort that would be required. Again, we didn't know what effort was going to be required. Trying to find partners to carry the signal and become affiliates. And again, for a radio station to say that it wants people to carry its content. And then to have people who often would consider you competitors say, no, we'll partner with you, was a statement that I needed to hear. Was that, no, there are radio stations and radio affiliates, media companies that were willing to carry this product across the state on their airwaves as well. And the answer was a resounding yes. I mean, even there's some people that unknowing people would consider competitors of the ticket. And I repeat, the ticket doesn't have any competitors. We're here trying to work from our own standard and own space. So it doesn't matter what anybody else is really doing. I don't judge my talent that way. I don't judge, I'm just not. If we do our job, nobody can do what we do. Like, there's no 18-hour radio stations live in Lincoln that are Lincoln owned and Lincoln operated. I like the fact that all money sent to the ticket stays in the state of Nebraska.
Yeah.
And you can't say that. So we found partners who said, yes, DP, we will partner with you. We'll carry your signal. Then it becomes, okay, who's going to call it? And I've called pro football, pro basketball, pro baseball, pro track, pro wrestling. I've called them. But calling volleyball at all wasn't a thing for me. But there are some people who know me well enough to punch me in the chest and say, listen, You have enough time. Are you telling me you can't learn volleyball? Ugh. Like chest punch. Like, okay. Yeah.
I do gotta say, where does that rank so far in calling? Because volleyball does seem like a tough one
It's tough.
because it'd be easy to kind of predict the plays that they're coming down, which is the last thing you want to do.
It causes you, I mean, one, learning the verbiage.
Yeah.
And not being a beholden to catchphrases,
Mhm.
etc. And then the rule one of play-by-play or radio, hosting, podcasting, whatever, is be authentic. Be you. And I don't need to sound like other volleyball play-by-play people. I need to sound like me calling volleyball.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
And shout out Renee Saunders, great partner to have alongside with you. I will say.
Well, I mean, she's a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
She's a teacher.
It bleeds through. I'm just calling those games.
Right.
You can hear it.
She's a teacher. And the thing, again, I shared it earlier. We came up with great coaches get coached while coaching. And there are times when I just shut my mouth and let her drop all of that knowledge. 9 consecutive state volleyball championships and a 2-sport Division I athlete.
Mhm.
And so she knows how to push herself as an athlete. She knows how to push herself as an educator. She knows how to push humans within the game and then tell the story of the game. Nobody's sharper with their words than a coach because she's got to call a play and get everybody on the court moving as one with very few words. So she's been a great teacher through all of this. And sometimes she'll do it on air live, and sometimes she goes, no, that's not what that's called. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. Like, oh, my bad. But they've been very genuine in teaching me the sport and having some of the best athletes in the world tell you how they think. My goodness, like, woof. Yeah, like to hear Betty talk about spins that she can put on the ball and different thoughts in training, to have the assistant coaches break down what they're tracking during matches and at practices, to have the nutritionist tell you all the things that they have to go through, to have Coach Bird be willing to share her philosophies. Like it's pretty cool to learn. And above all things, like I'm still a student of the games that are being played around us.
Mm-hmm.
So I just have to listen. Then you get into the schedule and the practice and the travel and, trying to eat well on your own. It's in their makeup and how they operate. Like the teams are set up so that they get post-match meals delivered to them. They're healthy and they're good. Broadcasters, we don't. So often we're calling a match and then trying to get back to the whole team hotel and try to find something. They're all supposed to be 5-star hotels.
Yep.
So that you can get fresh food made.
Right. Adequate
24 hours,
service
right?
because you're quick on the road. You're
Right.
going to have to be in and out.
But not all teams have honored that. And it's not exactly the restaurant of your choice, right? So, then you're eating late at night. You're getting up sometimes at 4:00 to catch a 6:00 flight the following morning after a match. Well, try spending your time at a 5-set match, getting back to the hotel, doing an hour post-match after the game, after a 5-setter. Trying to come off the adrenaline rush, right? Because you're dancing with the athletes,
Right.
and trying to calm down, get yourself chilled enough, 1, to eat, 2, to get some sleep, because it could be 12:30, 1:00 before you chill,
When you're trying to make your show the next day,
and you've got 4:00 call for the bus going to the airport. And then you're trying not to eat airport food, right? But there are times you have to. You're certainly not trying to eat airplane food.
No.
Right? So then you get into another city. You probably have an hour, because we don't fly out of Lincoln. We fly to Omaha.
Yep.
So you get that hour going and coming. Yeah. And then luggage, of course, everything. Yeah. And you're traveling as a group. So it's one thing that if you're traveling by yourself, but you're traveling as a group. And so the moods of 25 to 35 people, like some of them folk, what are the odds everybody's having a good day all those days? No, man. And then these women are recovering from playing 5 sets. So they're fatigued, they're sore. I mean, how many times does Kendall White hit the floor in the course of a 5-set match? Well, I think that number's, if we ever tracked it, and I probably should ask her, but 30, 40, 50 times in a full tumble every match. And that's just huge. Or how many shots you take off your wrist, or how many, many, like how many spikes get sent at your head or your shoulders. So to watch all that and then see how good they are, how strong they are, how athletic they are. And Omaha did a really good job. I don't want to say they got lucky. They did a really good job of purposely setting the roster with people of a like mind and work ethic. This team actually likes each other.
You can see that when they play.
They like each other. I mean, it's pro sports. If you get 30 people together, not everybody's going to be best friends. And I wouldn't say that about this group, but I would say that they all like each other. As a matter of fact, I'd say they all love each other. There are times when they don't like each other because, again, each of them is elite. Each of them is one of one. But imagine that your job every day is competing with, you're a libero and you're competing against one of the top 10, top 8 other liberos in the world.
It's going to be some friction.
In the world. And you got to
competitor.
practice against each other. If you're one of the two, if you're 2 of the 10 best middle blockers in the world, and you got to compete against each other every day. So they managed to keep it professional, to keep it business. I'm humbled to watch the best in the world do this thing that I can't possibly do.
We've talked about it before. Only 7 teams, not just Omaha, but man, all of those teams are loaded. And that's what we're talking about. Those long, it's 5 sets, but some of those, I mean, it gets up to 30, 32 before the match actually finally ends because those teams are going back and forth that much. We got a little bit of time left. And since, we got to flip the table a little bit here and I got the opportunity to interview you, I'll kind of tease it here. Then we get on the next side of it. We'll really dive into it. But I do think a lot of people just need a reminder. How does a guy like DP even just land in Nebraska, buy a radio station, takes the job, not as the boss, but starts at the beginning, just working there, taking less than what he was probably worth just to be a part of this community. So we'll kind of start just getting down to Lincoln, when that all start for you and why. And then we'll dive into you really taking over the station and the goals and dreams you have for it. Because I mean, it's already been, I've been here, man, 2 years and I wasn't expecting any of this. Like before I even knew that you owned the place, I was working here and man, flash forward just a couple of years, way different game. We're doing better, meeting all the athletes. It just seems like we keep growing. So when did it even start for you? When were you like, okay, you know what? Me and Rebecca, we're heading down to Lincoln.
She was ExxonMobil. Mobile One, and she was consulting. We were in Houston. Well, we were in Houston, and then I was in DC and she was in Houston. I was working USA Media, which under normal under normal call words, Voice of America. And I managed 7 language services there in DC, back and forth to Houston. Had settled back to Houston, but Becky was coming here as a consultant for Talent Plus here in Lincoln. And the phrase was she was looking for her tribe, right? She was looking for her people. And she'd come here once a month, twice a month, for several months. And she just said, I think I like Lincoln. I think I like it.
And you haven't seen it yet, right? Like she was.
Yeah, I didn't have it. I had connections to Lincoln, but my connections to Lincoln were players. People that I had met in other places. Kenya Hunter, Tony Farmer, Jerron Boone, DeMornay Pearsonell. There were a ton of folks who were from Nebraska or played here that I knew either in Utah, DC, etc. So I was like, well, look, I'm done. Like I've had a full 30-year run of both broadcast and coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And coaching, look, if you coach one sport for 30 years, that's one thing. But I was coaching 3 sports for those 30 years. That's 90 years of coaching.
It's a lot of hours.
That's a
Long
lot.
days.
Like that's a lot of that. And she said, well, let's visit. And so she was coming and she picked, I believe it was Michigan State. Michigan State, it snowed the weekend we were here. This was the 9-6 Huskers Michigan State game 5 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
5 or 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And to see, I saw Lincoln in the snow and I saw how people engaged. And there are some places where if you get that kind of snow on a football day, it shuts the place down. But Lincoln was fully functional and everybody was really civil and connected and they looked out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, we went to the game. She introduced me to a couple of folks. And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's a good visit. And she said, well, what about if we, instead of going on some of the other trips that we take, we just come to Lincoln a couple of times a year, watch some football, I'm like, well, they got basketball, they got baseball. Cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, whenever that is. We came back when the weather was nice, and the Salt Dogs were playing. I didn't know anything about the Salt Dogs. I went down to the Haymarket. I bought a ticket online, went to the ballpark.
Season's starting soon for anybody out there.
Yeah.
Root for the Salt
They're
Dogs. Great
scrimmaging this
organization.
week.
Yep.
Yeah. And I didn't really know, but I'm like, okay, they got baseball, they got basketball. I'm like, and she said, okay, so instead of like us getting, vacation homes, let's get a place in Lincoln. And if we're going to take some trips, we'll come watch some football. I'm like, okay.
Oh, it's really just that easy for you? Because Lincoln, I'm
I
biased.
can do sports anywhere.
Okay.
I can
Fair.
live anywhere.
Fair.
I mean, I've lived in some places.
Is that just because of the tough times that you've had in the past, or just?
Well, no. I mean, these were all successful things. They were all different and difficult. Charlotte was the Bible Belt.
Mm.
If you're walking into Billy Graham territory, and they weren't used to having people who look like me on air. So that was the thing.
So you've just kind of learned to adapt regardless of where you are. Not, I shouldn't say adapt, but
well, no, but I'm
not changing.
Well, no, I was a part of the of the original busing project. So go back to 1970. When you remember the Titans?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was my actual life. Alexandria, Arlington, Virginia. That was us, and I was one of 7 kids in my school who were pulled from an all-black school after 3rd grade and told that you were going to go to a predominantly white school on the other side of town the following year for 4th grade. And I didn't know what that, I couldn't. At age 8, I couldn't understand what that meant, but was put on a bus and we arrived at the school and there was a picket. They were picketing the fact that we were coming. They knew our names and they picketed us. Imagine that at 8 years old, 9 years old, being picketed. And not knowing.
Did you understand what the reason was?
Well, yeah,
for you at that point?
because my family had told me.
Okay, so you understood
that when I was picked for the project, I knew they made it clear. And just think Jackie Robinson and Branch Rickey and him saying, okay, we're gonna ask you to do a thing that we're not asking everybody to do. We're asking you to do it, and there's some responsibility to it. And you're saying this to an 8-year-old that you're not going to be able to fight. You're going to have to be better than they are at the same things, and you're not going to get credit for it, right? You're going to have to be better academically. You're going to have to be better. Like, well, they chose me because of the academics, and that was the big thing. And it's like, you're going to be as smart as anybody in that class, but you're not going to be treated that way, and you may not get credit for it. This is when standardized testing had just begun, and I was put on the bus, again, picketed. First day at resource, I ran outside. There were kids whose parents had told them, do not play with that black kid. Do not play with him. But there were also parents who told their kids, yes, you absolutely have to play with the black kid. Now, I didn't want either to be. I just wanted to be a kid,
right,
and have people
fun.
Like, okay, whoever likes me, but because it's me, not because parents told them to or because it was uncomfortable. So yeah, it started early on that you get used to. I went from a black school in a black neighborhood to a white school where I was the black kid in my grade.
I was gonna say, was there like was it just how big is
In
the school?
my
There's 7 of you?
It's a big school, but
Okay.
so it was one per grade.
So fair to say it's like less than 1% of the
Oh,
school.
well, absolutely.
Okay.
And I knew, like, I immediately, the people that I'm best friends, like George May, Mickey Higdon, Eddie Miller, Patricia Roman, were the people, Bobby McClellan, were the people who made a point to be my friend. And I'm still friends with them today because they did a heroic thing for the black kid that they didn't have to do, right? They didn't have to do that, but they did. Like, they looked out for me and they co-signed for me and they kind of told me how things work. And the teachers, Miss Davis from there, Miss Green, Mr. Torbick, I remember them like yesterday. Like Dr. Johnson, who was the principal, who walked on the bus with the police to get me off the bus and walk me into school the first day. And that happened every day for the first week. And the standardized testing, it was back then, you did math. So you did addition on day one. So everybody, every grade, every class did the test. And you had, I want to say that you had 50 questions or whatever. You finished it within a time frame. If you got it right, you got to advance from addition to subtraction to multiplication, division. And each day the pool became thinner of people who got it right. And so this was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I advanced each day. So Friday, they said, okay, these people report to the principal's office. Uh-oh. Well, no. Those were the people who had passed all 4 of those tests. And when everybody else was testing, we got to go to the playground. So there's like 6 of us. And I was the youngest one. And we sprinted down the hallway in this elementary school to the playground. Except for there's only 6 people on the playground, right? And their parents who are standing around the fence, just hanging out. So imagine that at an elementary school, that their parents are hanging out to watch interaction and engagement, right? Weird, but okay. When I got to school on Monday, I was called back to the principal's office because I thought, I get to go recess again, right? Because people still got to take the test. Except for they said that there were parents who doubted that I passed the test. They doubted that I was one of the 6 who got it all right. So they needed for me to take those tests again in front of parents.
So you actually had to retake them.
I had to retake the test with the parents watching through a window. So, yeah.
I wish I could say that was longer ago, but it really
wasn't. No, bro.
But nonetheless, we got to throw it to break here, but we got DP. We got an inside look on DP's life. On the next 2 segments, we'll get a deeper dive on why Lincoln, why this radio station in particular, and what's the goal, what's the vision for it as we continue to grow here. If you guys want to join in, shout out to Jeremy, the Grill Master, says, what's up, DP? Love your brother and what you're doing with the ticket. Don't we all here? But again, you guys are always welcome to join in through the streams as well. We'll throw it to break. We'll talk to you guys in just a little bit.
Hey, Husker fans, whether you're looking for some baseball gear, graduation gifts, or some new Husker apparel, Alumni Hall delivers your ultimate Husker shopping destination. Shop top brands like Adidas, Peter Millar, Columbia Golf, and more. Join the Alumni Hall Hall Pass rewards, and for every $150 you spend, you'll earn $10 in reward bucks. Nebraska students and faculty and all military receive 10% off with every in-store purchase with ID. Come see us at Alumni Hall, P Street, South Point Pavilions, or alumnihall.com. Alumni Hall, it's where Huskers shop.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddles Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddles makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddles Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall. Sandhills Global is hiring. With their fast-paced, growing culture, they have hundreds of new openings in sales, marketing, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Full-time roles offer a 4.5-day work week, along with flexible internships in most areas. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Find your fit today at www.sandhills.jobs. Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today, expecting partly sunny skies with a slight chance of showers this afternoon. We'll see a high around 74. Tonight, slight chance of showers early, then mainly clear skies, below around 46. And tomorrow, a chance of showers, otherwise partly sunny with a high around 68. I'm meteorologist Kyle Cuthbert for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Omaha Supernovas host their final regular season home game this Thursday, May 9th, versus the Columbus Fury at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pearson and Renee Saunders starts at 6 p.m. with first serve at 7. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network. Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours. And our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
The end of the school year is drawing near, which means graduation parties are coming soon. Are you prepared for that if you're hosting? Fierce Cheese Spread is the dip that brings everyone together to celebrate graduations and to close out a great school year. And it goes well with crackers, meats, soups, and more. How could you throw a party without it? Get to your local grocery store today and load up on Fierce Cheese Spread. No graduation party is complete without it.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere sprayer during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Leverage the industry's latest technology with See and Spray to target weeds in season in corn and soybeans and use less herbicide per acre. Utilize Exact Apply to save in chemical usage and prevent over-application. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year during Landmark Implement's Fast Start Early Order program. Contact your local Landmark location for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
Power Combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into One-on-One with DP. You guys are always welcome to join in on the show. We're doing a deep dive on DP. Switching the script here. I'm actually interviewing him. You guys can join in as well. 402-464-5685. You can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo channel 961. Shout out to everybody texting in here. Kind words as always. We'll try to get to him here. But DP, we were kind of talking about you past. We have some people reaching out, kind words as always, but you don't come across this guy with a lot of resentment. Despite everything, you probably have a lot of reasons, excuses why you can lean that way, but you don't. You stay pretty happy. You got the love prints going on.
Yeah.
So coming to Lincoln, you're still this upbeat kind of guy. And I know a little bit of the story. You take a position, just being honest, you're overqualified for. You take it anyways. Because why? Why did you decide to do that? And what was it? Is it just because you like the business? Were you getting bored? Or is it, I see something here that I want to do?
I have a very supportive wife who said, do the thing you want to do.
Mm.
Like, it doesn't happen. None of this happens without Becky. And one, it wouldn't be Lincoln. Two, you wouldn't have the support. To tell you that it was minimum wage, I had to interview 7 times. You didn't interview 7 times for this job.
No, just once.
I had to interview 7 times, and I had to be vetted by 5 different people to see, 1, whether they thought I was legit, 2, to give time for vetting, 3, to figure out what it all meant, and then 4, to develop trust. And shout out to Tom Stevens for stepping up and saying, you know what, put him with me. Put him with me. Yeah, he may regret it. Well, because Tom, unfortunately, I try to explain it to people. Tom had never met anybody like me.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever that means.
Yeah, no, I think that's a neutral statement. That's just is what it is.
Like, yeah. I can say that about Becky. Becky's never, I'm a handful.
I've never met a person like you.
I'm a handful. Yeah. Like, I understand it, but because I've experienced a lot, I've gone through a lot, that I know things when I see them, because I've seen them in such high repetition at such a high vibrancy, that I recognize it to my core the moment I see it. So somebody can tell me, hey, this is not what this is. No, that's exactly what it is. It always is. That's what that is. And not saying that Ron Romero and company were doing it from a racist standpoint, because I don't think that was a part of it at all.
Right.
Their thing was, why would you, you should be working for ESPN. You could be doing a whole bunch of other stuff. You've worked in the NFL. You've worked in the NBA. You've worked directly with Joe Gibbs, with John Thompson, with Urban Meyer, you've done Jerry Sloan. Why would you want to come work for this little tiny radio station in Lincoln? And I said, because you need a radio host. You asked me if there's anybody that wants to talk sports 2 hours a day. And I said, yes. What you paid me really wasn't the thing, because I was going to get enjoyment out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. Like, it was, I can say it now, I was making $10 an hour. $10 an hour. And truthfully, so Becky's the lowest paid employee at the ticket. For the amount of work that she puts in, Becky receives nothing. She takes no money from the station.
That's a great boss.
Right.
She works
like somebody that
all the time.
And we say this to people so you understand, we're not in this to make money. Money wasn't the inspiration. It wasn't. It's the fact that we get to make Harrison Arn's life a little bit easier. We get to make Rico's life a little easier. We get to make Nick's life a little easier. We get to help out Strick. We'll put some more money in AD's pocket. We'll make, Raph gets some enjoyment. Farley gets to live a better life. Rashawn gets to live a better life. Jay gets to the better life to do. Like, we pay full-time wages for part-time work. And every dime, like, we could have stayed at 48 and just pocketed money. But no, we wanted to add something to Lincoln. Like, we wanted to give something to Lincoln. Like, the whole point of Love Prints is just leave it better than you found it. And Lincoln sports fans deserve to hear from Ahman Green. They deserve to get to know Jay Foreman. They get to hear the stories of Bill Bush, to get to meet the athletes. And that wasn't even the plan then. The plan was just, I was going to go to work and do 2 hours each day. I would be challenged to learn Nebraska athletics.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that challenge. And then it was, oh, well, okay, how about we do this thing? So why don't we talk to more athletes? Why don't we talk to current athletes? Why don't we talk to coaches? Why don't we talk about the community? Why don't we talk about the people who do nonprofit work, who are out here trying to help raise our kids? Why don't we talk about teammates a little bit more. And then Ron Romero, COVID hit. Of course, that changed a lot of things for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it. How many businesses closed because of the pandemic? We grew.
Mm-hmm.
We literally multiplied. And to go from 6 hours local, 7 hours local to 18, he said, listen, it's time for me to get out of it. I'm going to sell it. And he was going to sell it and turn it into a country music station. He was going to sell it to people who were going to turn it into a country music station.
Thankfully, I'm not a country music guy.
Well, but it was also going
it.
to reduce opportunities for the people who are already in the building.
Absolutely.
And he said, do you know any athletes who might want to buy it? And I was like, I'll talk to Becky. We might do it. And he was like, really? Well, yeah. Well, it's gonna be a lot of money. Oh, okay. And there's some things that you have to go through, the difference between podcasts and FCC regulator, things you have to go through. But I happen to be married to a woman who's very built for keeping track of the things that are required to do those things. She's the most sound, rock solid person I've ever met.
Yeah, she's a walking spread Excel sheet.
Right.
Like, she's got everything locked in.
Right.
on
Like
time,
I
always.
jokingly tell people that, listen, I could ask her what we spent in Gatorade the last 14 years, and she'd probably be able to tell us. But she's built that way, and she's wired that way, and she's come from the high corporate space, but she also cares about people. And we've mutually agreed. Like it wasn't about taking money. It was, who can we help? How can we make the space that we're in better? And so she worked it out and she made it happen. And I couldn't have made it happen on my own. There's no chance. Yeah. I have the history behind doing the work, but she was the one that foundationally set the foundation for how we were going to do it. And then what the rules of engagement were. And, that's her heart being active. And, it's pretty amazing to deal with. So, and then, we thought, I love what it was. Never going to speak begrudgingly to what it was. But once asked, okay, what's the ideal? What's the vision? Like, what do you see? Oh, okay. Now we're cooking at Crisco, because we didn't see daylight down there.
Yeah, and that's a real statement.
Like, I wanted to see people in daylight. I wanted engagement. I want people to be able to walk in the door and say hi. I want people to be proud of it. I want people to go, hey, look at what Lincoln has. Look at what Lincoln did. I want people to get to know their heroes. I want there to be a space where people who love the Huskers can come and meet. People who love sports can come and meet. You don't have to have a reason to walk in here and have a cup of coffee and sit and talk to Eric Strickland. You don't need a reason. And I can tell you that you certainly would never have dreamed, if we had said 5 years ago, that you're going to, on any given night, here's the list of people that you're going to sit and have conversations with. And those people are your family now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? Okay. And then the listener, and I don't think that all the listeners have really grasped what I'm shooting at here. That why would you, if you're in Lincoln, if you're in town, and you listen to us or you watch us, and I said, I'm going to give you every way possible to consume this. So if you're an app person, got it. Streaming person, got it. Amazon person, got it. YouTube person, got it. Facebook, got it. Cable TV, you want to watch?
Yeah,
got it.
That was the greatest. Well, I'll never forget. There's 6 o'clock. DP's like, hey, look up, you're on TV.
Right.
I'm like trying to figure out what's going on.
Right. Here. Got it. But there will come a time in the short future when the fans will start to realize that they can just walk in here and hang out with their favorite Husker. And then to use it to help Husker athletics and the University of Nebraska be the greater version of themselves. That think about that I was told nobody's going to listen to female athletes. I was like, okay, watch.
Insert speed and power and
Right.
podcast download numbers.
Here you go. Right. Here you go. Nobody wants to hear bowlers talk. Nobody wants to meet gymnasts. Wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then here comes all the pioneers, right? And let me shout them out because there's so many student athletes and parents who trusted me with the idea of this being this simple. One, introducing them to themselves. Two, introducing them to Husker Nation. Three, allowing them the experience of being heard. And then four, representing the athletic department and their families. And so we said, okay, students, if you're going to do a show here are a couple of things. One, you got to get permission from your coach. Two, you got to get permission from your families. Week one, I need your parents on the show. Right? So they'll know what it is, they'll understand it. Two, at some point, have your coach on the show. So you can have those conversations. Then have your teammates on the show so you can share who some of these fantastic people are. And if you go through it, that Brant Banks, Nori, Reagan Hensey, Nicklin Hames, Kenzie Knuckles, Nicklin Hames,
Gwen and Amara,
Gwen and Amara for what they were doing. Then you get into it starts to evolve, and there's Cam Chick and Bryce Matthews, right?
Kobe Webster,
Kobe Webster and CJ Wilcher, people who trusted the vision, because what's coming next for the ticket couldn't happen, wouldn't happen without those pioneers. And that's why in this building, we have those jerseys of the people who walked us through from the get-go and trusted the little station that could to become a greater version and open the door for other student athletes to one, build their brand, to be heard. And what we learned in it, more than anything else, was that they're much better people than we gave them credit for.
I could speak on that personally. I spent a lot of time with those guys. With that being said, we'll throw it to our final break here. And then the last segment, we'll just talk about what's next for the ticket. One-on-one with DP Harrison on the ones and twos. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Spring in Nebraska brings green grass and warmer weather, but it also brings severe storms which can cause damage to your home. Meadowlark Exterior specializes in hail, storm, and wind damage restoration, as well as roofing, siding, and gutters for commercial or residential buildings. Meadowlark Exteriors focuses on fine craftsmanship and proves that in their attention to detail. They offer free roof inspections and estimates and insurance claim assistance, serving the Lincoln and Omaha surrounding areas. Call today at 402-875-2956 or go to meadowlarkexteriors.com.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Far too many kids in our community face extreme challenges due to homelessness, abuse, and neglect. Despite the troubles these kids face, we believe in them. believe in giving them the safety and stability they deserve. Your gift on Give to Lincoln Day will help us provide services to meet kids where they're at, while also showing them how far they can go. Please make your gift to Cedars on Give to Lincoln Day.
Celebrate the moms or special women in your life with the perfect gift from Riddles Jewelry. Save up to 30% on our sparkling selection of diamond, gemstone, and gold jewelry. Riddles makes gift giving easy. Find the perfect pair of matching items totaling $500 or more, and you'll receive a free jewelry case as our gift to you. Riddles Jewelry, for life's special moments since 1959.
Located inside Gateway Mall.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
School tells you all about the 4 seasons: spring, summer, and so on. And then there's a way we really tell what time of year it is. Sports seasons: football season, baseball season, or even off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now, of course. And now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season, y'all. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolateseason.com. See you there.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
You're listening to One on One with DP, sponsored by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment of One on One with DP. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Of course, the host DP in studio with me to my left. I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor, Soulful Cocina. Great food there. Check it out if you haven't already. But DP, since we got a little bit of time here left, we just got to ask, what's next? I won't make you give away all the secrets and all your plans, but this place grows at an incredible rate. And I can say that because, again, I think I've worked here for 2 years, going from the basement, and now having the weeknight shows with 3 former Huskers, not to mention all the student athletes that there to begin with. Like, it just keeps growing. So without giving everything away, what's next? What's on your mind?
Well, there will be some additions soon. And the additions are legendary. Some of the additions are going to be remarkable in that it's my intent to not only grow this. So we know that we're going to expand the production of advertisers and commercials, like that. We have the podcast studio. So folks that want to come in and do a professional podcast, right, with video and streaming and the full thing, where it looks, the the part, you can go in and use our secondary studio to do that.
Which is such a luxury, by the way.
Yeah, right. And to be able to record commercials any day. Like if you are having an event, you're having a party, you're having a fundraiser, and you want to record something professional, you'll be able to do that at the ticket. And to be able to do that. And then there are some new shows that are coming that are just exceptional. Just to tell you that game-changing exceptional. And I'm honored by them because there's some really good people in Lincoln who have stories to tell. If you are listening and you have a nonprofit and you want to promote it, open invite. Like, let's go through, let's sit down and talk about ways to get your events put out there. I mean, what we figured out with Cedars and Teammates and Junior Achievement and Link to Literacy and Big Brother and United Way and all of that, right? Malone Center. A big part of that is just putting good stuff back, the stuff that exists in the community that's good, just putting a light on it. Like just highlighting the fact that Lincoln has a lot to be proud of. There's some really good people doing really good things. And the other sort of news and the other sort of podcast, that stuff is available where it's negative, and there's enough places for that. It just won't be here. Like I want Lincoln to have a place that's proud of, and then when you come in, that we tune in, that we're having a good time. We're educating and entertaining. Sometimes we will bicker like as brothers do, just because sports is kind of led to that.
Yeah, you get Jay Foreman and Eric Strickland on a LeBron conversation.
Yeah,
oh man, 3 hours of nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, but again, that's family spats, and that's what that is. There's no venom really tied to it.
No.
So some of the shows that are coming, I've been working on for a while to get them. Of course, we've got high school baseball. We get the state tournament coming up. We'll carry that all week. The Final Four of Pro Volleyball Federation. Not only are we going to be there covering the Supernovas and broadcasting for the Supernovas radio network, but we're going to do that as well for Pro Volleyball Federation. So we will be there no matter what happens. We'll be there for all 3 games. We'll broadcast 2 Wednesday next week. There'll be 2 matches. We'll broadcast them both. Myself and Coach Saunders will do the call. And then the Final Four. And then UFC X, which is in Vegas. Last year, they gave us a booth down there to interview UFC fighters. We're going to do that again.
Oh, let's go.
We're going to do that again. Back on tour a little bit with UFC, WWE, bringing those stories and bringing those people. I can say that we have an agreement in place with Anthony Lionheart Smith from the UFC.
Let's go.
To do a weekly show. And if you can catch his stuff currently. He's all over the place. But his work with ESPN is renowned. But one of Nebraska's own out here having an impact. He and I talked yesterday. He won his last fight last Saturday. First round submission, choked the guy out in the second round. Undefeated fighter who they were sending to retire, Anthony Lionheart Smith, and he put him to sleep. So we'll have more UFC coverage. We'll have more coverage of other sports. And to tell you that there's a coach that wants to have his own show to share stories. And I'm rather excited about it. We'll announce it probably next week once it's official.
There you have it. Lots of plans in the work. No DP at this point. It's almost a guarantee. Always on the next move. But nonetheless, that's going to wrap it up for one-on-one with DP. A little bit of inside look on how he got here and what his dreams and goals are for this radio station. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s, but don't go anywhere. We got live content all the way until midnight. Up next, we got the Don't Punt Hour with the host, as always, the Morning Pearsonell. I'll talk to you guys in just a little bit.